Okay, does anyone remember computing before hover functions? What are hover functions? A hover function is anything that is activated when your mouse cursor moves into a specific region on the screen. I don't like hover functions. I wish for hover functions to be banned, or at the very least made optional, and it would completely change the internet from being a dastardly, menacing mess of cluttered rubbish that people are trying to shove into your eyeballs every 5 seconds to a information source just the way it used to be before some dweeb introduced hover functions to the whole thing. When I move my cursor around the screen, I don't want anything ever to happen until I click on it. Right click can open up a menu to offer me options, and left click can select things. Unless you're using Apple, in which case it's reverse, because the person who designed that just wanted to make a point. But the point is, you have two buttons. There used to be three, but let's just stick with two for now. The point is, you don't need hover functions. Hover functions are exactly the same as if you happened to look around your room and your eyes happened to move across your chest of drawers, and as your eyeballs moved across the chest of drawers, each drawer flew open and threw clothing or whatever the contents were at your face to say, "Oh, did you want this? Did you want this?" And you're like, "No, I was just moving my eyeballs, thank you very much." And that's what hover functions have done to the internet. The endless siege upon human beings that is being conducted by the morons who are conducting web and software design and user interface design it's a disaster. All you want is something that responds to your input. And me moving my mouse cursor innocently from one place on the screen to another is not input. Oh, but you might want. It doesn't matter what you, stupid developer, think that I might want. Get out of my face. Get out of my business. I am using a tool. In this case, the tool is the website, web page, or software. I don't need you to try to predict or presume what I might want to do. I don't need it, I don't want it, it is presumptuous, it is rude, it is invasive, it is the very epitome of bad etiquette at the very minimum. It is so obnoxious to have someone seemingly jumping around all over the place saying, "Oh, do you want this? Oh, do you want this?" Eventually, if someone was trying to help you and they carried on doing that all the time, eventually they would end up unconscious because you would have hit them in the face so hard as to render them unconscious, and the peace you would experience would be phenomenal. And this is the problem with web design. There's no way for the user to reach through the screen and throttle the moron who's trying to design things which are over helpful by a factor of 1 billion. All I ever want something to do when I'm using it is to respond to my intentional input, not potential input. When I move my cursor around the screen, I don't want to know what I could have. I don't want information that I could be presented with. I don't want that. I don't want your stupidity vomited into my eyeballs, you stupid, ignorant developer morons who have no idea the nonsense that you're creating. I just want a website that does nothing until I do something intentional to cause it to do something. When I'm moving my cursor around a website, nowadays it is a disaster of rubbish happening. I don't need it. I don't want it. Imagine if you were walking through a library and you happened to glance at one section and all the books suddenly flew off the shelf in your face, just because you happened to go near it. That's what it's like using a website nowadays. I don't want anything to be automated to that degree. That's insanity. But these web designing morons keep on and on and on and on and on. Here's another one for you. When I go to any image search engine now, all of a sudden, for no reason at all, when I move my cursor over one of the images, it expands slightly. What, to let me know that my cursor's there? I know where my cursor is. There's a little cursor icon. It's a little arrow, and it tells me where the cursor is. It's done that since about 1980. But you morons all of a sudden think, oh, people might not know where their cursor is. Let's make the thing expand and contract. Because we don't have anything else to do with our time, we're sat here butting our heads against the wall because we have to design something. Everything has to move. Everything has to jiggle about on the screen, otherwise we haven't done our jobs. That is what goes on in the heads of every single web designer or developer in the whole world, because everything they are trained to do is a waste of time. Nothing, not one single thing on a website is more efficient or effective or more usable nowadays than it was 25 or even maybe 30 years ago. It's all just useless junk that these morons are trying to pack into websites for no reason at all. Just because there is an occupation called web design, and now they call it user experience, these guys are like, oh, we have to do something. But their whole entire occupation is a superfluous waste of time. There is no justification for the nonsense that these morons are pumping into websites. I don't want your animated nonsense. I don't want a video that plays the second I open a website, because it's just distracting nonsense. I want to look for the information. I don't want a showcase of your wonderful, impressive animation talent. No one cares about it. You might be wonderful at animation, but I'm sorry, nobody cares about it. Nobody wants it. They just want the information that they came to find. The internet is not a toy. It's not a circus. It's not a place of entertainment. If you want entertainment, find a specific video of some kind and then you can be entertained. Internet, websites, even user interfaces in software don't need to be entertaining at all. There is no part of the user's brain that's going, oh, I'm trying to do some work here, I need to be entertained at the same time. You'd have to be a complete idiot to think that way. All you want to do when you go onto a website is take in information from that website. And all of the animations in the world are not going to attract me. They're not going to do anything but repel me, you stupid fools. And the same is true of, I think, every other user on the planet. And on and on and on these morons go, putting more and more and more and more junk into websites. Hover functions serve no purpose. I don't need any information. Like, the 1% of information I want to use is clouded by 99% of information I don't need. So when I innocently move my cursor across the screen, I'm thinking, oh, what's that came? Do I need that information? And 99% of the time, I don't need it. So it's superfluous rubbish. And when I was using the internet 20 years ago, we didn't have this nonsense, and the internet was a dream. It works perfectly well, but the morons, the monkeys, have escaped from the zoo, and they've taken over, and they need to be put away. That is the problem with web design, with user interface design. These guys are going that direction, and they need to be going that direction. Less is more, so to speak. These guys have to be stopped, and I don't know how to stop them. That's why I'm recording this video, so that maybe some other people out there can say, you know what, I understand what you mean. It is rubbish. It is nonsense. We don't need it. It has to be stopped. The internet used to be so usable, and now it's a fairground ride with flashing lights and buttons that tell you stuff you already know in 3 or 4 or 5 different ways. And there are little pop-up things saying, this is a button, at the same time as the button is a button. And it has a symbol on telling you what the button does, and another pop-up saying, this is what that symbol means, and this is what this means, and this is what... Just get out of my face, you morons! I don't need that information. No one needs that information. You're just treating the whole world as if there is one particular type of human on the planet, and they have an IQ of 0, and you have to lead them like some baby through the operation of a website that they may have been using for the whole of their lives. You people are mental. Stop it. I mean, what else can I say? Just stop it, you fools. Just stop it. Stop putting in crap into websites that people don't need. I don't need it. You don't need it. Go home at the end of the day and find another job. Change your occupation. Be a fireman or something. But don't put rubbish into websites that people don't need. It's very simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't reinvent the wheel. The customer is always right. What's so difficult about understanding these principles of design? Nothing. Nothing's difficult about it. So, stop what you guys are doing. Just stop it. Stop it. Walk away from your computers. Like I said, get another job. Because user experience you are destroying through your belief that you know best and your training which tells you that people want rubbish. I can't imagine what the people who are actually delivering this stuff in seminars, how do they sleep at night? They've taken a usable tool. Imagine a spanner, right? A spanner was probably designed, I don't know, it was probably mastered 150 years ago. Now people are like, oh, you know what it needs? It needs a banana. Yes, spanners need bananas on them. And the rest of the world's going, no, we don't need... And these people are going, yes, they need bananas. That's exactly what web design people are like. They're taking something that works perfectly fine and saying, we need to ruin it. Yes, let's ruin it with more and more and more rubbish. Congratulations, user experience designers. You're all idiots. Every last one of you. Because any one of you who has any sense would have quit and done something else with their lives. Because they would have realised it's a complete waste of time. The internet has become a weird circus when it is an information source. The internet is a tool, it's not a toy. How do we sort this problem out?